Our correspondent Vikas Sarthi is joining us for more on the winter session of the Parliament. Vikas, we've just given a broad outline of the key bills that will be taken up in both the Houses of Parliament. Let us hear more from you. How do we expect the day to be there in Parliament, given the stance of the opposition, and also very quickly get us a quick highlight of the bills that will be taken up in both the Houses today?
Right, Preeti, in the Lok Sabha, first of all, the discussion on Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and two connected bills will continue today, and we expect that Home Minister will give a detailed reply on all the issues raised by Member of Parliament. Though we saw yesterday that after suspension of 49 opposition MPs from Lok Sabha, the discussion duration has been reduced since earlier. More than 15 hours have been allotted for this particular discussion, but now a very few number of leaders other than the ruling BJP party are there to participate in this very important legislation. Though when this bill was introduced in Parliament in August, there was a demand that it should be sent to a standing committee of Home Ministry. That demand was accepted by the government. It was sent to the standing committee, and several important inputs have been taken from the members. But again, such an important legislation, and opposition is not participating in the debate. So after the passage of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, other important bills will also be taken up. You just mentioned that telecommunications amendment bill will be moved by communications minister, and this bill is also very important for the end user of social media platforms. It will provide that all those apps, calling apps and messaging apps, which are based on internet, will now be included in the definition of telecommunication. So earlier there was a lack of legislation on that aspect. So this bill will provide that those apps are also ruled by certain provisions. And apart from it, another important bill you just mentioned, that which is related to the appointments of Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners. It will provide that there will be a high power committee of Prime Minister, Union Minister and Leader of Opposition, which will decide the candidature of Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissions. There was a vacuum, Preeti, since the existing rules or existing guidelines were in fact quashed by the Supreme Court on a PIL, and meanwhile, as an interim measure, it was provided that Chief Justice of India will also be a part of this panel. Now, this bill has made it clear that any decision will be taken by legislature itself, and there will be no role of judiciary in appointment. So this is also a very important bill. But first of all, Lok Sabha will take up the agenda which was continuing yesterday, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. A number of MPs have given their input and their point of view on this particular bill. And once the Lok Sabha starts functioning, we expect that after the question hour and 0 hour, these bills will be taken up for further discussion.
All right, Vikas, also, what do you make of the standoff between the opposition and the government? Because yesterday we saw record suspensions being made, and also given that the winter session is in the last leg of its functioning, let us get more from you as to how do you evaluate the session so far, and also what do you make of the standoff between the opposition and the government?
Right, Preeti. So the first week was very productive, and there was a very important discussion took place in both the houses. But on the incident of security breach, now opposition has been obstructing the proceedings in both the houses, and in both the houses, chair reminded opposition that it is a matter of scrutiny, but it is a prerogative of parliamentary secretariat. Demanding that government should make a statement on this security breach is not appropriate. In the past, such kinds of incidents also took place, and at that point in time also, chair decided that what should be the improvement in the security of parliament. This is not a matter of politics, and opposition MP should give their vital inputs, their suggestions, but stalling the proceedings in both the houses is not correct. Despite the frequent reminders, opposition MPs created ruckus, and we have seen that there was a number of suspension. Yesterday also 49 MPs were suspended since they brought placard and they tried to went into the will. And despite the repeated warnings, when they didn't when they didn't participate in the proceedings and tried to obstruct the proceedings, then certainly chair decided that for the smooth functioning and passage of such important bills, these 49 MPs should be suspended for the remaining part of the winter session.
All right. Thank you, Vikas, for joining in with those details.